We have a full house, Kim.
This is so exciting. A nice way to ring in the weekend ahead, I think.
You know what? I might just because so many people are joining us, we don't want to be mindful of your time. And this is a recorded session. So maybe we kind of slowly dive into it while people are still trickling in. But yeah, officially, welcome to this Mastering Catalyst session with us here at Catalyst. We call this an hour of pro tips and expert guidance. And so I'll just kind of set the stage a little bit, some housekeeping, and then really let us dive into the actual meat of the session. A couple basics. It's an hour, but we will be on as long as there's questions and really are here to kind of answer any thoughts, queries, anything that comes up. So, but roughly an hour. Um, in order to ask questions, which we really encourage you to do it at any point throughout the whole hour. You can do it as we're talking at the end, but use the chat function below. There's a little button there. Type in your question. We suggest to send it to everybody versus just the panelists. That way, other people can see maybe that they have the same question as you. And we have our team here that you can see on camera. We have Isabel, Michael, Josie. You'll see them in the chat, interacting, answer questions. We're also going to save some of them to our live Q&A at the end, where Cameron can really kind of dive into a little bit more live speaking to them. So stay tuned for that. Again, a recorded session as well. So you will get the full recording, the slides afterwards. So don't need to take notes. If you miss something, you can always go back and rewatch it. I will plug one thing. If you have questions that are more specific to your suit fit or size or anything like that, we really suggest to just reach out to us directly. And you can just send an email to support@katalyst.com and we can do a one-on-one webinar style session with you, kind of a Zoom call to talk about the details. So just a really good suggestion there. But anyways, enough talking. I'm going to hand it over to Cameron to lead us through the session.
Thanks, Val. And hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thanks for being here. We're excited all to be here with you. And like Val kind of prefaced, just help you get comfortable with your catalyst and set up for success here as you're getting started. I am a care specialist here, so I'm on our care team along with Isabel, who will be in our chat today, answering questions. And yeah, we're excited to dive in. Please put any questions you have in the chat, and we'll go through a good wide breadth of knowledge today. All right, so a couple things that we are going to cover today, just quick outline. We're going to go through our guided series that are available in our app right now, our modes of training that exist, what they each do, how to best use them, levels and workout intensities that exist, how to best navigate the app while you're in it, a fast setup of the suit as well as like proper adjustments and fit of your suit, and then a live Q&A at the end. If you are submitting questions in the chat throughout here and you don't see yours get answered specifically, good chance we pulled it for the Q&A at the end, so it will get answered live by myself. So everything will get answered here, at least by the end of our hour together. All right, getting started with guided series. We have a good handful of guided series available in the app right now. These exist in the very top carousel of your app that you're able to scroll through. These series are designed each with a different focus, just to help you kind of tune into what you're hoping to train, whether it's functional fitness or some mobility work, or in this case, we're highlighting here our 6-week build a habit. We love to highlight this one for our members that are getting started, which is most of you guys here today. The 6-week build a habit series is really designed just to help you get consistent with using Katalyst, get introduced to the software, the interface, training with EMS, all of those good things. So this is a 6-week program with 2 workouts programmed a week. So there are 12 total workouts. Again, this is in that very top carousel, able to scroll through and find it. And then from here, some additional getting started resources are that beginner or advanced intro program. But if you have not gotten started yet, or you're just kind of starting to dip your toes in, I would really recommend heading into this 6-week build a habit series and work through it for the next 6 weeks. Some additional information about our content here. We release new workouts every Monday. These will be on the carousel, what's new, also close to the top of the home screen on your app. We have some new series to highlight as well. We've got a path to better posture, build your strength, building resilient joints, and those 2 functional fitness programs as well. So again, just these series, really great way to learn how to stack or program workouts and kind of take the guesswork out of which workout to do next. So this really helps walk you through it and a really great asset to our content as a whole. We also have some new trainers that have made a debut on the app. We have Casey, Moses, and Matt. So please take a look for them and their fresh content that's getting uploaded. All right, jumping into modes here. We have 4 modes of training that Katalyst offers. These 4 modes are strength, power, cardio, and recovery. And each of these modes has a different function and it feels a little different, and your training is different within each of these modes. So just running through them here, we have a strength mode. This is kind of like your building block to strength. So this is how you are building muscular mass. The strength mode targets your type 1 or slow twitch muscle fibers. In this training mode, you have a 4-second rhythm. So you'll feel a 4-second contraction through the suits and a 4-second release. It's a slow and controlled movement within that contraction. So you're doing like 1 bicep curl in that contraction or 1 overhead press. So really getting into like the nitty gritty of some strength movements. Again, it's designed to improve muscle strength, endurance, and muscular growth. We have our power mode, which feels very similar to strength mode, but it does operate at a different frequency. So this will target your fast twitch muscle fibers, still having that 4-second rhythm. So 4-second contraction and 4-second release. But these workouts are designed to be a little bit more dynamic in movement. So you are doing like 3 to 4 really quick reps within that contraction. So like 3 quick squats or 3 quick overhead presses or whatever it may be. So just moving a little bit quicker using those fast twitch muscle fibers, designed to improve performance in activities such as jumping, sprinting, throwing, and just really good for day-to-day life as well. If you trip, your fast twitch muscles are the muscles that quickly catch you and react to those ballistic movements. So another great mode there for you. Then we have our cardio mode. This one does feel very different from the strength and power. You're not getting a full muscular contraction, so it does not follow that 4-second rhythm. It's a consistent impulse going throughout, so almost feels like a drumming on the skin or like a twitching sensation. This is a lower frequency, so again, not getting a full muscle contraction. It's is used to improve your muscle endurance as well as your aerobic endurance. And you can almost think of it like just an external stimuli that is making your cardio workout harder. So you're not really feeling the muscular resistance as much as you are just feeling like overall fatigue through the body. I'm going to rewind for just a second. The strength and power modes are designed to be used about 2 to 3 times a week. We need quite a bit of rest between these 2 modes, about 48 hours of rest or so, just to allow the muscles time to recover before jumping back in. So strength and power need that good amount of rest 2 to 3 times a week. Cardio mode can be used up to every day, and it can be used in tandem to a strength or power session. So you could finish a strength session and head right into a cardio session. And again, could do cardio every day. We also have recovery mode. This one feels kind of similar to cardio in that it's that like consistent impulse or drumming throughout the suit, through the body. It is designed to increase blood flow, reduce muscular waste, lactic acid, and just help the body recover faster. This also can be used up to every day and in tandem to those strength, power, or cardio sessions. So just kind of highlighting here what a week with Katalyst may look like. We get a lot of questions on how to like best program or how to best spread out your workouts, how often to use it, things like that. So highlighting here what it may look like to put Katalyst into your week. So on the left column, this is someone that's going to use a strength or a power session 2 times a week. So you want to train with your catalyst in those modes twice a week. You can see we have a power workout on day one, a good amount of rest. We've got days 2, 3, and 4 before we head back into that strength workout. So getting that 48 hours of rest plus that we recommend between those two. And then you can see a cardio workout is on day 2. So completely fine, like we said, to put a cardio workout either right after a power workout or the day after, because it could be used up to every day. So just an example there. And then you can also see highlighted the mini add-ons that can be great to add to these as well, those recovery sessions or cardio session in tandem too. And then the column on the right is going to be someone that wants to train 3 times a week in strength or power. So we've got that power workout on day 1, cardio workout on day 2, completely great. Those can be used back to back. We've got a full day of rest before heading back into a strength workout on day 4, another full day of rest. Day 6, a recovery session, active recovery or rest, and then that power workout. So main things to highlight here really are just that we have those full 2 days, days 2 and 3, and days 5 and 6 that do not have a strength or power workout, and those are pretty evenly spaced throughout the week there. We also get a lot of great questions on how Katalyst can be paired with traditional strength training. So our friends that like to go to the gym still, or maybe they're wondering how Katalyst can replace traditional strength training, because we see these two compared a lot. So just taking a look here at how Katalyst may incorporate into your life if you like to still do traditional strength training in tandem to your Katalyst workout. So traditional strength training is in that same bucket as Katalyst strength and power workouts. We need rest between these sessions. So day 1, we would have a Katalyst strength workout. Day 2, full day of rest, nothing going on there. Day 3 would be a traditional strength session in the gym or wherever you do your traditional strength. Day 4, again, that full day of rest, get some good muscle recovery in. Day 5 heads back into Katalyst with a power workout. And then day 6, taking an active recovery day. This may look like a round of golf, a long walk, a mild hike, casual bike ride, things like that. And then back into a traditional strength session on day 7. So again, just making sure you have those good gaps, those rest days between a strength workout or strength or power or a traditional strength workout. All right, taking a look here at levels and workout intensities. We do offer 4 levels of our workouts, so levels 1 through 4. Contrary to popular belief, these levels have nothing to do with your training intensities. Your training intensities are always completely independent and dependent on your preferences and abilities. Levels are programmed by our trainers just to give a indicator as to how difficult that workout is programmed to be within the moves. So level 1 workouts, you're going to see more simple static exercise movements. So working bilaterally, both sides working at the same time, maybe not so much like pivoting, single leg, twisting, things like that. As you work up through the levels 2 through 4, you'll see more dynamic movements incorporated, some things that maybe use your balance, stability, some body awareness, twisting, unilateral work, things like that. We can always kind of tweak these workouts too. A level 1 workout could be so super hard if you increase your intensities, and vice versa. A level 4 workout could be made really simple if you lower your intensity. So there's always room for some moving around here. I guess just to say, don't be weary of trying a higher level and don't be, I guess, too cocky not to try a level 1 workout as well, because they are all great and totally adaptable to your own preferences as well. All right, and then intensities. Finding a good starting intensity is really important as you're getting started with Katalyst. Our intensities range from 0 up to 480, so there is a really wide range of intensity to train within. And we need a specific intensity to start to get that muscle contraction going. So if we're training too low, we're kind of just feeling like a vibration through the suit. We're not getting that full muscle contraction, which isn't giving us the benefit that we're looking for with EMS training. So our starting intensities do have a default setting. For males, it will default at 82, and women, it will start at 57. And we like to see these ending intensities then be above 100 at least. So you'll get that starting intensity. We really recommend heading into your channeled roar, adjusting your intensities for each muscle group, getting everything feeling nice and even, effective, and then aiming to end above 100 plus. Of course, we have people that finish in the 300s, 400s, 200s. There's a really wide range, and it is really different for each individual. It depends on body size, athletic ability, muscle tone, body fat, hydration, all of these things. So just know there's a wide range to work with. It just takes a little bit of mindfulness as you're setting these intensities, but feel pushed to start at those default, the 82 or 57, and try to hit that 100 mark by the time you finish your first couple sessions. All right, looking through the app interface here, I'm just highlighting a couple important buttons. Your intensity decrease button is over on the left side of the screen. That is that nice minus button that's highlighted in green. We also have a intensity increase. This is the plus button over on the right. Just a fun piece of knowledge here. The increase button will not work if your workout is paused, just as a safety feature. So if you ever think the plus button isn't working, it's probably because your workout is paused there, but that button is in the lower right-hand corner. Your overall intensity is going to be in the bottom there, that highlighted number that exists right there, bottom middle of the screen. Your individual muscle group adjustments over there to the left, that's what I referenced, the channel drawer. Those are those three little dials, and it opens up there to show all of the muscle groups that you can adjust individually. So you're able to click on each of these little jelly bean buttons and add or decrease intensity per each muscle group there. You're also able to group these muscle groups by suit piece, so by the upper portion labeled as the vest there, and then the lower portion as well. These are highlighted there. And then we can also mute or turn off these muscle groups while we're in a workout as well. So if you're in a workout and you're like, gosh, I wish I could turn off my hamstrings today. I don't want to train these. You just press and hold that jelly bean button and it will cross it out, gray it out, and that channel is then turned off. We also have a auto follow or unfollow button there. That is the little arrow in the lower right hand corner. This will turn off the manual adjustments that the trainer is making. So if you get halfway, 3/4 through your workout, your intensity is strong, you're really feeling it, you're like, gosh, I wish Max would just stop adding intensity to my workouts. You'll press that unfollow button and his manual adjustments he's making will stop coming through to your suits. We also have a few great interfaces that are offered with our app as well. We do work with Apple Watch, so you can wear your Apple Watch while you are wearing your Katalyst. This is a really great way to keep your intensities right on your wrist. You don't have to reach for your device to turn up or turn down intensities. So that can exist right on your wrist there. We are available on iPad and iPhone. And then you're also able to AirPlay or screen mirror your workouts to a smart TV or an Apple TV, just to make that view a little bit bigger if you prefer that as well. All right. Pairing your impulse pack. This is a question that we do get a lot as suits arrive to our new members here, or maybe you've paired to an iPhone and a couple months down the road, you're ready to pair to an iPad. So just a couple helpful tips here on how to pair. Our pairing does not exist within settings on your device. You do want to make sure Bluetooth is turned on in your device within settings, but then the pairing will actually happen within the Katalyst app. From there, once the Katalyst app is open, you have your impulse pack. You're going to press and hold the power button on the impulse pack for about 6 to 8 seconds. So a blue light will turn on initially at an initial blinking speed. And as you're pressing and holding that power button for about 6 to 8 seconds, that blue blinking light will speed up rapidly. Once it is rapidly flashing, you can remove your finger from the power button and the pairing request will pop up on your device. As you select to pair, the device will connect. You'll see it in the upper right hand corner of your app. You can see the green light with the battery life that exists there, just letting you know that the pack has been paired. A couple frequent mistakes we see here is trying to connect while we're in a workout. So you've tried to start a workout. The device is looking for a impulse pack to pair to. And this is just, it's the wrong step to pair out. We need to do it with the Katalyst app open just on the home screen. We also see the power button not being held down long enough to let that blue light transition from its initial blinking speed to a rapid, fast blinking speed. All right. Fast setup of the suit. Let's talk about wetting the suit. We do need to wet down the suit for conduction through the electrode pads. So water and compression are our two most important parts of prepping the suits or wearing the suits and makes for a really effective workout. We do see it takes about 3 to 7 minutes on average to wet down the suit, get it on and going. So a pretty quick time frame there. I like to put on a song and time myself and try and get everything done within those 2.5, 3.5 minutes there. I am going to quickly show how we recommend wetting the suit. There are just a couple helpful tips and specifications there. But before I jump over to my other camera to show you that, just a couple helpful tips. We do recommend warm water when wetting the suits, just helps make things a little bit more comfortable. So whatever temperature water you can tolerate, but warm is recommended and just a good little tip there. All right, I'm going to head over to my other camera here quickly. All right, so I have my arm pad set up here with my electrode pads up towards the ceiling. I have my provided spray bottle. This is the recommended method for wetting down the suits. I've pumped my bottle a couple of times, so I have good pressure here within it. And these pads are really super multi-layered within here. So we like this pressurized bottle to use to make sure that all of the layers are getting fully saturated here. As you are going to wet down these electrode pads, we like the nozzle to be touching the pad itself. So you can see I have full contact here. I'm going to press the nozzle and drag all the way zigzag here. So just to show up and down here, my nozzle is touching the pad directly. I am holding the nozzle and I am dragging side to side, fully saturating, soaking the pad. We can see a full change of color there. And then a good way to tell that it is wet enough is as you're pressing fingers into it, we can see water pooling up to the surface. So this really is the preferred level of moisture and how we like to wet rather than keeping that nozzle a couple inches away and spraying from above. There still is a good color change here, but just feeling it, there's not enough moisture rolling through that pad. So going for direct contact or really super close to the pad, using your provided spray bottle and going for that full color change, full saturation there. All right, hopping back over here. All right. Talking about ideal suit fits, we really like a snug and compressed suit. Again, water, compression, two most important things here. So going for a really compressed hugged fit, that's not cutting off circulation or blood flow, but is feeling like that really nice hug around throughout the full body. I am going to suit up here in a second just to show you guys our preferred order of operations and how to adjust best. Um, I think just a couple helpful tips is making sure base layer is on. Typically, I have some brighter clothing on today just so you can see the suit on me. Pads are nice and wet before we suit up. Nothing on beneath the base layers. And then, yeah, we'll go through a couple adjustment tips here. So coming up to standing, I'll grab my suits. I'll switch out this vest for a Katalyst vest here. All right. So I have my suit here. Top and bottom are connected, and all of my adjustment straps are completely let out, so nothing is tightened, and that's exactly how we want it to start and how we like to store the suits. A nice, just helpful tip is I like to keep my armbands connected to my suit from just the Velcro that hangs on the armband and then up on the vest here. It's just nice, easy for storing. So I've got both pieces connected. We slide the vest on first, just like a regular old vest, and then give that a zip up. So vest is zipped, and then the shorts will go on next. So shorts are going to go across the low hip. I think it's kind of feels like second nature to pull them up where we typically wear our pants, especially in today's age, up across the hips here. But we do like them nice and low across the low hip bones, often underneath the vest or maybe just overlapping the very bottom based on your torso height. So we are putting that vest or that waistband on across the low hip there. We'll take the Velcro first and then the buckle adjustment second. From there, we'll do the thighs. So thighs go on kind of towards the mid thigh. Just a nice clip in there. And then from there, before we tighten, we like to pull it down towards the knee so it can lower down towards the knee a couple of inches. And then we pull and rotate to the top of the thigh. And once it's on the top of the thigh, you will give a nice pull adjustment there, get it nice and snug on the leg. So it's down my mid leg. It's not super high up towards the groin, kind of in that middle section there, and nice and snug there. So I would do my second leg. From there, I would do my vest. We start at the bottom. It can be helpful to give a nice little tug down like you're pulling on a shirt. And then we start with the bottom side adjustments first. So we have two on each side or one on each side. We give a pull forward, working our way up through all 8 of them, just corseting the torso in, making sure we have all of them nice and snug, and then finishing with the shoulders. So shoulders will get a nice pull down and forward, getting the chest snug. And then from there, we often have some extra fabric kind of bunched at the shoulder here. I like to recommend sticking a finger underneath the buckle there to grab onto that extra fabric and just pushing it down and forward so it is folded down to my chest rather than back to the shoulder. So I'll tuck that in, give a little pull down. And then from there, I'm nice and snug, tactical feeling, ready to go. And we'll finish with an armband. So armbands, easiest way to get this on is to make a loop with the armband. So we've got it folded in, loop here. From there, with the tab facing in towards the body, you'll slide your arm through the loop. And then the open elastic here is going to go on the inside of my bicep. So as I pull and tighten it down, the inside of my arm has that open gap. And then those 2 snap adjustments for the arm cables are on the outside of my tricep here. So those would run from the outside up to the chest. So honestly, I could even give a little tug down and inward just slightly. But if you were to flex your muscle at somebody, it would be open here with the elastic. All right, quickly de-suiting here, letting everything out before I go to hang it back up. Just pulling on all of the adjustment straps. Quick process there. And then as we go to hang this up, when we're done with the session, we want it to hang in a well ventilated area, so somewhere it can kind of dry out and breathe. It does take a couple hours to completely dry, and it can be helpful to fold the suit inside out as well before hanging it, just to keep those pads open to the airspace. Not necessary, but just something to test out, maybe if you live in a little bit of an area with a little bit less airflow there. So I would hang it up as such, and then it is ready for my next session. All right. Anything I missed here? I don't think so. All right. So everything I just went through there, the steps of how to suit up, how to adjust everything, does exist in our app. It is recorded by Michael. So you're always welcome to go visit that and review those steps. This is in the Get Ready guide that exists within the app. It does pop up as you first create your account and sign in. So if you go through that at that stage, great. If you skip over it, great. It is always there to go back and visit, like I said. It does exist in just the More tab in the lower right-hand corner of the app, taking you to just some more of our informational pieces there and account information, things like that. And it exists as the Get Ready guide, so you can see that highlighted there. From there, you're able to watch the entire guide if you prefer to, or you can skip through and click the different stages of suit prep. So say you just wanted to look the armbands on again, you can just scroll through and click that rather than having to watch the full recording. All right, suit longevity. Oh, I might have skipped ahead a little bit when I was putting the suit on. Just a quick recap on these. Always loosen the straps before hanging it up, just to help keep everything nice and loose and then easier to suit up again next time you train. Let it hang dry, good, well ventilated area. As far as washing, both the suits and the base layers can be washed. Base layers can be washed every time you use them. Um, just with your regular athletic clothes, recommended to do like a gentle cycle or delicate with cold water, and then a hang dry or a low heat setting in the dryer. And then the suit itself does not need to be washed after every session. It is antimicrobial by nature, just with the material of the pads. But you will start to notice maybe after a couple months, 3, 4, 6 months, just depending on how much you train or how much you sweat, really, that the suit may start to get like some salt lines on it and just start to look a little dingy. At that point, great to wash the suits. It can go right in your washing machine. We recommend a laundry bag. Keep everything buckled or zipped up in the laundry bag, delicate cycle, cold water, and then it will not go in the dryer. It just hang dries. All right. So we have a couple additional really great resources. We have our YouTube channel. All of our past webinars are recorded and put on there. We also have great series of pro tips. So some really common questions we get are outlined there in the pro tips. We also have some great podcasts and other things recorded on that channel. So a great resource to tune into if you haven't already. Um, Other resources available, again, that getting started guide does exist. The care team, myself and Isabel, we are available for one-on-one sessions if ever needed. You can book those through us. We meet on Zoom for any troubleshooting, suit fit, training questions, things like that. And then we also have an AI chatbot on the website just for those quick one-off questions that you're looking to fire out and get an automatic response from. You're welcome to take advantage of the chatbot. Oh, I feel like we're flying, Val.
We're flying, but it's actually a good thing. I'm going to turn off screen share so we can get a better view here. We have a lot of questions, so get ready, Cam. I'm going to go all the way back to kind of earlier in the session just to make sure we cover everyone's. Little rapid fire for you as well here. But one question that came in was, what would be the ideal intensities for a middle-aged woman doing both power and strength? Um, and what final intensity is a good goal? So maybe like average where she should maybe aim to start, and then where should she aim to kind of final intensity.
Yeah,
Hard to
okay,
answer,
great.
I know.
Great question. And I hope my answer is sufficient enough. It's hard to give a direct answer to this without knowing like body size, body composition, your current training schedule, things like that. But I can help give some guidance for yourself and others on how to check in on that. So, starting at that programmed default starting intensity that is set by strength and power mode, great place to start. From there, checking in the channel drawer, going muscle group by muscle group. And as you're getting started through a workout, just holding on to your device that you're using just to keep it handy to add or subtract intensity. Go by each muscle group and turn them up or down, looking for a squeeze through the muscle. So it shouldn't feel so intense that like this is the end of your workout. You don't have 18 minutes of this in you. You're looking for something that feels like a good starting point with the tightness and contraction of each muscle group even throughout the full body. Ideally, you would end then over 100. Just that's what we typically see on most body types, frames, ages, genders to end over that 100 mark. So it's so different for everybody. We have people that ride that 100 mark hard. We have people that go way into the 300s, 400s. So it's based on your body, really.
Okay, awesome. One kind of piggyback on that. If I'm not sore after a workout, does it mean my intensity isn't high enough?
Great question. I think as a society, I think we like to correlate soreness with a good workout. Of course, we love to feel that. But it's not always truly indicative, but it can be a good thing to check in on. Um, I would start first at the end of a session after you do a strength power session, because those will be the ones that will create muscle soreness because you're getting that muscle contraction. If you're reaching the end of that 20 minutes and you're still just flying through the movements, you're not sweating, you're not struggling, that's a good indicator that your intensities may not be high enough. Um, so we're looking for something at the end of the 20 minutes, like we are begging for that time frame to end. We're fighting against resistance, sweating, working hard. And then ideally, there would be some muscle soreness. After your session, 2 days typically after it will set in, but maybe not always. I know that's kind of a wish-washy answer, but leaning more towards yes, but really lean heavily into how you're feeling at the end of your workout.
Thanks, Cam. A little bit of a similar question, but I want to make sure we like highlighted. This was the question goes, I've only done a couple of workouts in the suit, one advanced and one beginner. Before an injury last month, I would lift and do cardio 5 to 7 times a week. I got the suit to maintain my muscle mass while I heal. If I'm not sweating, does that mean the intensity isn't high enough? Which you kind of spoke to, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, kind of in that same vein, again, everybody's threshold to sweating is going to be different as well. Um, but really, these workouts are hard if programmed and set correctly. Like 9 times out of 10, yeah, you probably should be sweating after a strength or power session, but maybe not. Um, but yeah, I hope what I've said already of like checking in on like feeling that resistance and that grit in the muscles kind of helps turn your head in that right direction.
absolutely. Let's see. I'm trying to keep a little bit of a theme here on the questions, but I might be jumping a little bit. Let's see. Here's one. Can the left and the right arms be deactivated individually? And then it continues, in case nursing an injury in one arm, as this person is, intensity offset for each limb would actually be really helpful, if that was an option. So can
Yeah,
you deactivate one arm and not the other?
unfortunately, no. I actually just spoke to someone yesterday and had this exact conversation. We cannot split between the left and right side in the arms or the full body right now. But that is really great feedback for our team of something that people may be looking for, especially with injuries or looking to not work a single side for whatever reason it may be. But short answer, no, we're not able to right now.
Okay. Great. Um, let's see. And then kind of in the position of like where our suit goes, we kind of get this question quite a bit, but why isn't there any pads on the calves and the forearms, for example?
Yeah, another great question. We do not have pads on the forearms or the calves, as you've noticed, specifically just because like calves, stimulating these muscles can be deemed unsafe. You're losing your functional control over muscles that stabilize you and keep you standing. So we did not make our suit with calf stimulation pads. These muscles, the forearms, the calves, are still indirectly stimulated, both through the workouts that are programmed that you're doing with the trainer, as well as through the nerves that are running through the upper and lower extremities.
Okay, great. Um, Here's a little bit on the kind of app interface and how it connects with the suit from Megan. If we adjust our individual muscle intensities for a workout, are those numbers set to the account for the next stage, for the next session as the starting place?
Yes, yeah. So per each mode, they are saved. So if you are in a strength session, you end at 200. Um, Actually, I'm going to rewind just a little bit. Our intensities are set to roughly double throughout a session. So that starting intensity should be about double by the ending intensity. If you're starting at 50, you will end around that 100-ish mark, give or take a little bit. The software remembers your ending intensity of your workout. So if you ended at 200, the next time you enter a workout within that mode, it will start you at 100 because it will remember you like to end at that 200-ish mark. So yes, it does remember per mode. If you really increase through a strength session, that will not carry over to a power. You'll have to do a session in the power mode for it to save for power. All of the modes follow that rule.
Okay, lovely. A little bit more kind of on the intensity too that came in is Um, I feel rushed adjusting my intensity by body part during the short breaks, but I want to optimize for my results. Any advice, pro tips on how to kind of, adjust intensities, muscle group, and
Yeah,
navigate the app?
totally. So ideally over time, less and less adjustments will need to be made just because the software will start to remember and it will write out what you like to set. What I like to recommend is in a session, start the workout, and really just dedicate like after that first minute ramp, like a minute or two to set the intensities in for yourself. So holding on to your device, your iPad or your iPhone, and just hanging out in that base position or that squat position, and using those 4-second impulses to go muscle group by muscle group can sound like a lot of work, but it is really effective. I think if that device is right in your hands, you're not quickly leaning over trying to tap things. It's totally doable in those first minute or two. And then hopefully you're set, good to go for the rest of your 20-minute workout.
Okay, amazing. Sam, you're doing so great. I'm just throwing questions your way left and right, and you're basically playing tennis with me here. I love it. Um, okay, a little bit more of a deep dive question here, a little bit longer, so bear with me. Does Catalyst improve and preserve bone density in the same way resistance training does? Um, I, um, I don't really understand how to combine weight-bearing exercise with Catalyst without overtraining if I'm already doing a Catalyst strength or power workout 3 times per week. So kind of speaking to that scheduling, I think that you were talking a little bit about, right? How to balance it out and if catalysts improve and preserve bone density in the same way as resistant training does. Any kind of correlations there?
Totally. Yeah. So let's start with bone density. The answer is yes. Bone density is being preserved and maintained through resistance exercise. So working your muscles, both concentric and eccentric phases. And Catalyst is doing exactly that. And it's doing them at the same time. So you're getting resistance training, still concentric and eccentric muscles firing at the exact same time is creating that resistance and you're building muscular mass to help maintain the bone density. So still right there, hand in hand with typical strength training, same principles. So yes, it is helping to maintain that. And then looking at overtraining or risk of overtraining or putting these in with strength weight bearing exercises, Katalyst could replace all of your strength training. There is not a definite need to take Katalyst and then still keep your strength sessions, unless that's just your preference for XYZ reason. If that
Mhm.
is the case and you prefer to still do both, then you would just want to take that same staggered schedule that we shared of splitting your strength sessions with a day or two of rest in between. So your weight bearing or strength sessions that are not Katalyst based would still follow that rule of taking rest. And Katalyst would maybe pare down to once or twice a week rather than that 3 to 4. So you would do like a Katalyst strength Monday, Katalyst strength Wednesday, and your weight bearing Friday or whatever it may be, but just allowing for rest days in between where you're not doing any sort of strength training.
Okay. That's super. Thank you for that. Continuing on, let's see. Here's a question from Chip. What is the general relationship between body fat and intensity? And I'm assuming kind of like what it should feel like, how much you can handle, kind of anything around that.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure this played in also with me saying like a higher body fat may need higher intensity too. So body fat is going to be a minimal blocker. It's not blocking entirely, but just an extra barrier to go through to get to the muscles. So a higher intensity will be needed to break through body fat. So if you have a higher body fat percentage or higher body fat concentration in a specific area of the body, just a higher intensity may be needed just to power through body fat and get to the striated muscle.
Amazing. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, here's one. This is like a pretty common one, just kind of seeing our community and pro tips from our members. Um, Someone says, I read a tip on the web where a user wets his base layer before putting on the suit, and he uses the shower to wet his base layer on. Any thoughts? Do we approve this message? Are we doing this? The recommendation? Anything around that?
Yeah. So using a shower is not our recommended method of wetting down the suits. Reason being, back to those multi-layered pads I mentioned, we really want that precise, pressurized flow of water into each pad. So recommended is always going to be our spray bottle there. The shower can also just pose risk to getting extra water into like the impulse pack pocket, and the impulse pack can't be submerged to water. It's just a couple weird things there. So, not our recommended method with the shower, but the base layer can be a really great idea, not as the sole method of wetting. You still need to wet the pads, but it can feel helpful sometimes to wet the base layer as well, just as that extra barrier of moisture. I like to wet down just my chest area with some extra water just to help conduction there. Um, Others will feel similar through maybe the upper back or the glutes, wherever it may be. So, water on the base layer is a good addition, not a sole method, and then always use the provided spray bottle.
Awesome. I'm seeing a few more comments on this in the chat here. Thank you, Daniel. I see the clarification. The guy that he saw on the web didn't shower in this suit, just the base layer itself. So that would kind of be maybe a little bit
Gotcha.
more safe in that rent.
Yes.
And then another comment, really good tip from Denise. I just lay my suit in a dry bathtub and use the spray bottle, saves from getting the floor and table wet. I love that. I might actually use that myself next time. Does sound like it saves a lot of cleaning.
I do the same
Let's
thing. Yeah.
awesome. Let's see. I saw one question here. Right. Do you have any suggestions on how to properly set ab intensities correctly? Seems hard to feel for this person.
Yeah. I think, again, going to be different for everybody on what intensity number is best. But when you're going for feeling, each piece of or each part of the body, a contraction is going to feel different in, especially just based on the movement arm and the concentric and eccentric muscles in that area. So the core we're looking to fire on almost like a brace. You'll feel like the transverse abdominis kind of wrap in, the abdominals along the front side kind of flex and fire up. So looking for that brace feeling if you were to just be standing and knit the ribs in, pull the belly button into the spine, which you do want to be bracing as well while you are wearing your catalyst. So kind of just looking through that squeeze and wrap through the front part of the torso.
Awesome. Actually, I think we've covered most questions that came in, and the team here online has been amazing helping us too. But maybe I'll just grab this one and then we can continue like questions come in. From Patrick. So if I use this suit for strength, will it build muscle mass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
great question. I we see a lot of great results from people building muscle mass. My biceps personally are looking mighty fine these days. So in yes, we see a lot of great results there. Of course, everyone's results are different based on just genetics, nutrition, training, things like that. But yeah, that is the theory and the intention there with strength training or strength mode.
Great. And then actually one question here from Anita. Should lower body intensities generally be higher than upper body given they are stronger muscles? Currently, my upper body intensities are slightly higher. So maybe any nuances or differences in upper or lower body and what we can handle with the
Yeah.
layer of we're all individual bodies.
I could repeat that time and time again. No, that's a great question. And I wish I would have touched on that when you were talking about setting intensities. Um, Different muscle groups will need a different intensity level. So it's not our goal when we're going into that channel drawer to get all of the muscles to the exact same number based on strength and then also muscle size. Those muscle groups will need different intensities. So you'll see bigger muscles like quads, hamstrings, middle back typically need a higher intensity than those of like the bicep. Those are a small muscle, the chest, upper back, things like that. And then it will vary, of course. Maybe you're just a more strong upper body dominant person than lower body. So taking that into account. But typically it goes by like muscle size of that muscle group.
Amazing. And thank you, Anita, for the question. And thank you, everyone, for all these really amazing questions. I might just pop into the slides for a few minutes and then let everyone share more questions and we can cover them off right at the end here. So lock them in there, but I'll let you.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, just a couple last things to touch on here. We do have an official Facebook group that can be found here with this link. These slides will be shared out as well, Val. Yes, with the recording. Yes. So you'll be able to access this link. But it is just a group to meet other Catalyst suit owners, members, ask any questions, and just build a nice community there. We see some good action. We're excited to see you guys head into that channel as well. And then I think I quickly brushed over these before when I was mentioning our YouTube channel and the resources that exist there. We have some really great stories. I think I said podcast. This is what I was referring to. It's just a series of videos with our CEO, Bjorn, where he talks to real Catalyst members and about their experience with using their Catalyst. And it's inspiring and cool to listen to just different use cases and lifestyles and all of those things. So if you're ever looking for just some more Catalyst knowledge and information, these are a great listen. We are available on most social platforms here as well. So please connect with us there. We are on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. So please visit us there, tag us, comment, do all those great things. Awesome.
A couple more questions, Cam. I'm not going to let you go that easy. One was actually a fun one, and I think it'll be interesting to hear from you. Let's see. Anita goes, can the presenters share their max intensities? Maybe, Cam, what's
Ooh.
your intensity with Catalyst? We want to know.
Oh man, I'm embarrassed to share mine. Actually, I shouldn't say that because other people have probably trained similarly. I normally max it depends for me. If I'm really feeling it and feeling strong, I get up to like maybe 160. Most times, if I'm not super feeling it, like around 130, 140. So that like mid to low 100s is where I train. Um, and yeah, we've seen a lot. We used to have an Olympic athlete that was on our team, and he would train like 450, which was crazy. And then we see everything in between as well. But yes, I'm a nice mid low 100.
I'll let the rest of the team maybe put in the chat if they want to be a little vulnerable and share their intensities. I'll share mine in just 2 seconds. I hit my personal record for 215 yesterday of total intensity, which I was trying to get there, and it's not really a competition, but for me it felt kind of an accomplishment. So
Totally, that's
um
great.
let's see. I do have let's see a couple more questions. I work out every day and I do Catalyst every other day. I do hit about every day, so cycle every day. And so I do like really, really need to rest. I love moving intensely every day. Maybe, I mean, you've kind of spoken to this already, but some people really love just being really active. And what's maybe on the more active side, what would kind of a schedule look like, just high level, while still getting that rest in, and maybe using Catalyst for rest and recovery as well.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I mean, rest days do not need to be like full on do nothing days. Maybe for some they are, but everyone has their own fitness level. So it totally could look like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday as a strength workout, whether that's your Catalyst or gym, strength or power, things like that. And then those rest days are totally great to be like cardio sessions. You're not getting a full muscular contraction and producing as much muscular waste. So great to do like a hit cardio, cycling, running, something that maybe is still challenging like the aerobic system, but not so much the anaerobic system of the muscles. So totally fine to stay moving and do things if your body's feeling it and feeling good, and that's the level you operate at. But really try to keep a day of rest between like a strength workout. Like you don't want to do a catalyst strength and then Tuesday go and do a full like Olympic lift session and strain those muscles even more.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Cam. I think intensities are such a like key component of Catalyst. So I do want to bring up this one as well here. Um, what is like a quote unquote normal upper and lower intensity difference? If arms are 150, what should legs be? Should there be any matchups? Or kind of again, very individual and just have to feel each muscle group, would you say?
They're super individual. I mean, I'll share like range of mine if that like maybe feels helpful. Normally my lower body intensities are like in the 200s, somewhere like a low 200. My arms are maybe like a 60-ish, so like a third of that. And then the rest of my vest, my abs, my back are around like between a 120 and 200. So my glutes, my legs maybe are like double with the vest and then cut the vest in half for the arms. I know that's really shady and awful explaining, but just kind of showing like the depth of where those can range.
Great. This was super helpful. I think we've gone through one of the questions. I want to say all of them. And if we missed your question, please know we're here for you. Just reach out to support at catalyst.com, especially if it's like a more individual session you want to schedule. So, so yeah, but thank you, Cameron, and thank you, Catalyst team, for kind of hosting us through it. And I'll let you close it out for us here today, Cam.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys, for being here. I saw so many good questions being fired off. So I hope this was useful for everybody. And it's so nice for us to get to see some names and get to meet you guys. And we hope you liked meeting us as well. But we're always here for you guys. And yeah, thanks for being here and good luck on your journey. It'll be awesome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.